My next guest defends his CES bantamweight title coming up here March 29th at CES 55. It is Tony Gravely joining me here on the program for the very first time. Tony, how are you?
I'm doing great, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome. This fight came together very quickly. I know you were supposed to fight at King of the Cage earlier this month, but that ended up falling through. When did you actually find out about this fight? Because we're talking about a fight coming up here next weekend, and this was something that was short notice.
Actually found out about this one. I'd say no more than about 2 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks out from today. So I guess that would be last week, maybe a couple days over a week.
So how do you adjust though? Because you have this fight you think is at the beginning of March, and then you have this title fight that's coming up. How have you been able to sort of adjust training camp?
For me, it's about the same. Usually, I try to train about the same. I say, and just to get a shape, I try to anyway. And as far as opponents go, I'm training to better myself more than watch other opponents. I watch opponents as far as what kind of game plan they're going to take, what style fighter they are. But as far as me as a fighter, I'm usually more focused on myself and how I can make myself better in each category, which makes it easier for me to adjust when it comes to last minute changes or fights that pop up out of nowhere. If I'm constantly bettering myself in every category that I can, touch on, then whatever style fighter they put in front of me shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, that pretty much has to be the strategy on the regional scene. You see so many things with injuries and opponents pulling out and things like that. So I guess that's the best bet. And obviously we're excited for this fight on March 29th. What did you know about Darren Mima when you took this fight? He's a veteran himself. He's got 17 pro fights.
I know that he's a tough guy, which is why I'm really excited about this fight. I really enjoy fighters that are tough, like not just technically tough, but physically and mentally tough. That I as a fighter, I enjoy when I go out in fights, I'm looking to beat people mentally as far as physically. I want to go out there and I want to make them quit. I want to wear them out. And when I get opponents that's a little harder to do on it, it makes me excited because it's I get to show people how tough I really am, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually and emotionally. Everything on the inside you can't see. I get to show why I've had the success that I've had other than, my physical attributes.
Right. And you talked a little bit about camp there. Where are you training right now, and who are some of your main training partners?
I train out of Tech Top Team in Christiansburg, Virginia. Virginia's not really a huge fighting state, but we've got, I like to say we're the best gym in Virginia. We've got we're mostly a striking gym. We have good grappling as well, but we're mostly a kickboxing gym. We've got a lot of good fighters in there. We don't have a ton of pros, but the fighters that we do have are really good. Everybody's good in something different. We've got good southpaws, good boxers, good, really fast guys, stocky guys. Like all the different. We've got some good female fighters as well. So it's a good feel as far as. Doesn't really matter what type of fighter you get. There's probably going to be somebody that can give you the feel of whatever that type of fighter that person is.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to get a variety there with camp because you never know the type of situation you'll be put in. The weight cut, now, is that a little bit easier just because you were trying to get the weight down for that earlier fight, or is it like how have you done the weight cut for this fight?
My weight cut's always the same because I'm not a big bantamweight, which helps me fight as often as I've been fighting. So I can get weight down comfortably within a week, like the week of the fight. I don't walk around very heavy. I cut maybe like 12 pounds, depending on, obviously when it's like winter time, you hold more weight and stuff just for the holidays and stuff. But, usually the warmer the weather gets, the easier it comes off. And luckily the weather's getting warmer too, so it's going to be a little easier to come off. But yeah, the weight cut really isn't an issue. I could probably, I know I can fight at 125, but, I wrestled my whole life and just the whole weight cut thing made things not so fun for me. So I kind of threw that out the window, and I'd rather fight where I'm more comfortable. I'd rather be smaller, but be able to perform better than,
exactly. And when we're seeing that in general in MMA right now, so many guys are moving up weight classes. Anthony Smith, Luke Rockhold in the UFC is moving up to 205. So I think you're onto something. It seems that a lot more fighters have success that way. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
My corner, it'll be Perry Gibson. That's my head coach, and my dad also coaches me, and my wife. They're both all those are using my corner. My other coach, Gerald Sutherland, is usually in my corner, but I think he's going to be able to make this one. But for me, my corners. We're very close knit. So everybody that is in my corner is somebody that obviously my wife's close. Obviously, I'm close to my wife. My dad, and my coach is like a father to me too. So for me, being in the corner, having corners for me is more about being comfortable, and everything that I go through with camp and normal life. It's the exact same thing going into the fight. Everybody that I'm always around, that I've been training around, that I'm comfortable with, they're all there. So it's really cool to get all those people that I'm really close with, and they're all there, and they get to go on this journey with me.
Are we going to see another finish in this fight? That seems to be the theme, and your last couple especially. How do you see this fight playing out on the 29th?
I'm always looking for a finish. I went through the whole phase where I was just looking to win, and I went through a phase where I had a lot of just decisions, and I'm sold on the fact that finishes are where it's at. So I'm definitely looking for a finish, and I don't really make predictions. I just kind of go out. In my head, I know I'm looking to win. I'm looking for finishes, but I'm one of those people where I'll go to something. If it starts working, then you keep going and you keep going, and you just keep on tapping away until you get what you're looking for. So I'm just going to be persistent with whatever works, and until I get that finish.
Is this the fight that gets you in the UFC, or at the very least Contender Series? I mean, at this point, with the amount of wins you're getting and the finishes, I have to think you're on their radar.
I sure hope so. The last couple of fights, I was like, oh, this is the one. But now I'm just trying to kind of, I guess, not so much worry about it. I feel like, the more I worry about it, the more, I guess you get a little frustrated when it doesn't happen when you expect it to happen so much. So, I'm just gonna go out there and do the best I can, and there's no doubt eventually it's gonna happen. I don't know if it'll be the week after the fight, a couple months after the fight. I don't know, but I'm gonna go out and give my best effort, look to get a finish, hopefully an exciting finish, and my goal is to keep getting at it until there's no doubt that they want me. They want me as bad as I want to be there. So, we'll see how it goes.
It's CES 55 coming up here March 29th, live on UFC Fight Pass. Tony, thank you so much for the time today, especially on a Saturday. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
On Instagram and Twitter, it's the same. Tony Gravely 125, TonyGravely. 135. Sorry, 135. Tony Gravely 135, and on Facebook, it's Tony Gravely. I've got a normal page, got a fan page. You can add friends on either one. Either way, I enjoy the support. I'd like to thank my wife, my coaches, my parents, all my teammates, family, friends, everybody that supports me. I'm very fortunate to have a lot of people that support me and that keep up with me and really want to see me succeed. So I think that's the biggest reason why I've had what success I've had, is because I have so many people that want to see me succeed. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Record Tactical Concepts, Hoffman Heating and Cooling, Steiner Associates, SES Builders, Crockett Home Improvement, Valley Boys, and everybody that supports me. It's a lot of people. Hopefully I didn't leave anybody out. I feel like every time my thank yous are so big, but I just try to get everybody in there just to show everybody how thankful I am for all their support.